we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again, after a 2-week hiatus, at least for me, to another scene set in A Death of a Dark Crusade Season 2. And on this very fine evening, this night of wonder within this once great Crusade estate, we start the scene within the household of a particular noble family. The House of Obellion. And within, the house's newest adopted daughter has been hitting the streets during the curfew for the purposes of, well, feeding. But has found that tonight was a strangely troubling hunt. A lot of her usual targets were unfit for feeding, if only because she'd risk harming or even killing them. Most of them appeared exhausted or a little bit dehydrated, woozy or sick. Maybe she would have risked imbibing some terrible disease through their blood. And upon some light conversation and looking them once or maybe twice over, she initially isn't able to gather that much information. These targets are not particularly, well, they're very well inclined to her. She's, of course, an absolutely lovely lady from a line of great prestige within the city. But they are not her direct subordinates, and some of the questions get slightly personal, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, and they simply take their leave. But fortunately for this young Cainite, there is more than one slightly sick person around the household tonight, and one of them, at least one, several of which are her servants, or one of her servants. And of course, being far more loyal and polite and dignified towards a good lady Eirene than any of those terrible, treacherous nobles of those alien families might be. Those outsider filth, as we like to call them. Eirene probably doesn't call them that, but I will. She's able to give her a much more thorough examination, no less disturbing to the servant or the maid involved, but she does comply. And Eirene makes a rather disturbing discovery upon a few basic medical tests that she appears to have been somewhat drained of blood, with no external injuries.
So mean. Who would do that?
And poor Lady Julia Rebellion. Poor Lady Julia. Who would dare do this to you? Who would mistreat your servants in such a fashion?
Right? It's just shocking. Such a poor lack of etiquette.
Honestly, it is disgraceful.
Totally disgraceful.
Just utterly reprehensible in every fashion.
Yep. No grace
Completely
whatsoever.
barbarous. I'm so unimaginably outraged right now. You have no idea.
Absolutely.
How dare! How dare, indeed!
Yeah. If Irene is with this servant, she'll just whip out like a silver piece, we'll hand it to her. And we'll ask her to tell her about how her night has been. And to tell her everything that happened this night. And tell her everything will be tell her everything this night will be on about this night will be a dominate roll.
Oh, okay. She
Yeah.
doesn't even get the chance to make a request. I see. That's how it is.
I mean, fine. She can just do it without first. Just because I like you so much, Chris.
She just goes, "Oh, thank you, my lady. But may I, if I may ask, may I get dressed first?"
Of course.
Thank you, my lady. And she appears to start getting dressed. She's a woman in her mid-20s, maybe early 20s. She probably comes from a family of servants.
Mm-hmm. There's a good girl.
She's kind of like you, just of much lower standing.
Oh, she's so cute. Want to keep her.
And
In a
less good
box.
looking.
That's fine. Can't all be good looking, because else nobody would.
Yes, that's the app for entitled bitch.
Wow. Here comes Chris
So
through feelings.
she's a fairly average looking woman in her early 20s. Native to Odessa. And her name is... One second. I had it. You know her as Gabriella.
Oh. Okay.
Well, ma'am, my lady,
Yes.
by the way, did you actually dominate her or?
No.
Okay. I work as part of a skeleton crew during the night, so I wake up quite late. I wake up at 4 in the afternoon, and she kind of stumbles. She's like really nervous being around you, like you asking her a question. She feels very interrogated.
Okay, can I make like a charisma something roll to make her more at ease?
Oh, yeah, sure. Roll charisma empathy. If you have the calming specialty, 10's double.
Hahaha, funny.
Oh, okay. I guess you're just a psychopath. It's fine.
I'm just a psychopath, yes. I don't
Hey,
have
Gerard
enough
has
empathy.
friends. Well, he
I
doesn't have
don't have
friends. He
enough
has...
empathy to have a specialty on it.
Just roll your charisma empathy. Okay, yeah,
Fatal.
you're fairly calming. Okay, so you kind of just, you put your hand on her shoulder and try to get her to calm down and painfully lower yourself to her level. As
That's
a
not painful
kind
at
and
all.
compassionate person that you are.
Yeah, exactly.
um, you see, she detenses a little bit, just enough to kind of keep on going. Her voice steadies a bit. I wake up at 4 to run my daily errands for my family, and a pair visit to the bathhouse down in the merchants district. Down in the merchants district. Um, then at around 6, I have breakfast with my family. At which point I spend some time just talking to them.
How is your family doing? Are they okay?
Yes, they're quite well.
Okay.
Um,
You live with your parents?
no, I live within the servants' quarters, although I make it a habit of always seeing my family for breakfast, or I suppose it would be their dinner.
Mm.
They they are just they are just simple laborers. My mother no longer works. She looks after the house.
Sounds like a fine family indeed.
They are. Mother lost a spring in her step, but not her wit, and my father is getting on in his years, but continues to provide for both mother and Giorgio. That's my brother.
I see. Is he younger than you are?
By about 10 years, yes.
Ah, I'm sure he'll grow up to be a fine lad.
Hopefully, but he's in those years where boys will be whacked like boys, and he hasn't been the most well-behaved soul as of late.
Oh dear.
Oh, not criminal like, but
Oh,
just
of course
as
not.
as children are.
Hmm. Well, if you or your family ever need to find him a job, please, if you want to. I have some friends in the city watch. Who knows, the discipline might do him some good, and it will land him a steady job.
She looks stunned.
That is, of course, if he's not following his father's footsteps, which I can quite imagine. Please, I'm not trying to peel him away from your family, of course.
Oh, no, my lady, I would be so thankful.
Well, I can definitely
We would
talk.
all be so thankful for this charity. I would not know what to say.
Don't see it as charity, please. City Watch needs fine lads, and well, if someone is very headstrong, that usually means that they are willing to do what needs to be done once their mind is tamed a bit by age.
I don't understand what we have done to deserve this.
It's
She
fine. I'm
looks shocked.
I'm more than happy to help out where I can when an opportunity arises.
Oh, my lady, you have my eternal gratitude, and she bows very deeply.
Please. Think nothing of it. Please continue your story.
Eh, she doesn't really know how to react to this incredible act of generosity. Um, yeah, of course, my lady. Um, after my, I suppose, my breakfast or my family's dinner, um, I usually just help with the with the household chores and washing up the bowls and dishes with my mother outside. Aid her with water collection and laundry. Uh, I spend about an hour a day. Well, sorry, about an hour doing this around that much. It's sometimes it's a bit longer, but I always leave it around 7 as I start my work at I start my work here at half 7. So I always leave half an hour uh, before my my time here begins, and always arrive 10 minutes early. Upon which I begin my work within this honourable household, making sure that all is ready for the morning, so that all the laundry is clean and neatly folded, and aiding in the cleaning of the house and making sure that uh, any pests are properly controlled and put down, and continue to do this, do my family in this household proud. This is my duty to the Orbellian family, who so kindly took me in.
Um,
And then my she stops because you look like you're about to speak. She's like, "Nope."
oh, no, if she is like continuing, then Irene will like motion for her to continue.
My apologies. She bows.
Please, it's fine. Continue.
She looks unconvinced, but she goes on. I largely simply do washing and cleaning, although uh, um, towards the beginning of the morning, I help with advanced preparation of the food and make sure that it is all in order.
And are you happy with your job here?
Uh, yes, I am. I've been well trained uh, by by uh, by the housekeeper and perform my duties humbly and with efficiency.
Um, do you want me to roll empathy to see if like she's really happy here?
Yeah, she's gonna roll subterfuge.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna roll appearance subterfuge. I'll actually have her roll. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna see how much appearance she has.
Manipulation. Empathy.
Oh, she's actually quite nice looking. Appearance free, so she actually gets a fair amount of dice to hide her emotions. She gets 4.
Shite. No, I only get 3.
Okay, yeah. She seems happy.
Yay!
I mean, you gave her such a wonderful act of charity. How could she ever be unhappy working here? Truly. You offered her son a job in one of the most stable, like one of the most stable jobs that the city has to offer. So she is
Yeah.
happy. Um, it is around 7 around 7 o'clock in the morning that I am permitted leave. At which point I usually simply thank the housekeeper for his graciousness in permitting me leave, and immediately head to bed.
I can imagine it must be quite exhausting working during the nights. I do appreciate all the work that you are doing. All of you, of course, but yes. I personally have never seen anything wrong with the work that all of you provide, so I do thank you for that. So, this night, did anything unusual happen on your way in or while you were doing your chores?
She tries to think back. Can you roll me perception awareness, please?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I suck, unless it's div 5.
I'm gonna double check for you. Because I'm not sure what the difficulty is. I think it's standard, but I'm just gonna double check.
It's probably just standard.
Da-na-na.
Thing is, if she's gonna say no, I'm not gonna believe her anyway, so.
Oh no, it is not. It is not perception awareness. It is wits empathy,
Oh, okay.
and the difficulty will be
Ugh.
6. So roll again.
Wow. Okay. That is 3 successes on 4 dice.
Okay. She just tries to think, and her eyes twitch a little bit, and says, "I don't recall anything. No."
I see. When did you start feeling tired? Was it when you woke up? Or did it happen during your walk in? Or
I only started feeling tired um, last night. Then the night about 2 nights ago.
I see.
I have slowly been making improvements. Um, I was
Were you so
I
ill
was
that you had to skip work?
no, although I was caught being rather sluggish
Oh,
by the housekeeper. But you need not worry. I was whipped back into shape quite quickly.
oh no.
I apologize for my prior laxness.
No, please, please, please. If you've not been feeling well, then that is fine. It can happen. Hmm.
She doesn't understand your logic.
I mean, Irene is being extremely nice because there's something that she's going to need to do, I'm afraid, which she really doesn't like doing.
Your wits empathy roll means you succeed. That she seems to possess the telltale signs of not
Hmm.
being able to
Recall things
re-
because her
recall
memory.
basic events. She appears to have been dominated.
Yeah, I figured. But I know there's a way to undo this.
Mhm.
I don't have to book up, which sucks. So I need to grab the book because I think it only works on Dominate 3 that you can undo the memories. Memories change, if I'm correct.
Pardon?
Like, do you know how it works with the? Because I thought it was only at Dominate 3 that you could, you
Yep. You
know.
need your to restore removed memories. Your dominate
Mhm.
rating must be equal to or higher than that of the vampire who made the alteration.
Oh boy.
So, do you have dominate 4?
Yes.
Okay, then you can do this. Um, you must.
With subterfuge,
Uh,
I had 3 successes. I don't know if that was the first roll for it, but
oh, it is. Oh no, it isn't. Oh, so there's not a roll to sense
hmm,
when someone's been dominated. I'll just make that. I'll just make that perception awareness roll then. But so really, I should have taken your first roll, but it's fine. Um, uh, uh, so it is a wits empathy roll, difficulty equal to the original vampire's permanent willpower. So that makes it a lot harder.
yeah, I figured.
That's weird.
Oh wait,
But you can make it an extended check if you want.
that is
Basically, every
nice.
half hour you may attempt to draw forth memories.
Okay.
The more time you take, the more damaging this will be to the mortal's
Oh
mind.
no, I don't want
Dominate
it to be damaging.
can erode someone's erode their self, their identity. It's quite notorious for doing so. So the less time you take, the better. The
Okay.
more time you take, the more mentally broken down Gabriella will become.
Oh no.
Um, and if it takes you 5 tries, there'll be some form of permanent damage.
Oh God, I would never do that. Okay, so does the first roll count that I made? The
No,
first with subterfuge. Okay,
no,
that's
because that
that.
was the sense that I just fucked up there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But if I took a first roll, you wouldn't have sensed it at all.
No, this is true.
So
Um. Okay. Then yeah, I will try this. May I spend willpower on these rolls?
It's a discipline roll, so no.
Fuck.
Botching reduces all successes to 0.
Yeah, I figured.
Because it is an extended roll. Failure just doesn't mean anything. You don't get any successes, but you don't lose any. But if you get a botch, you lose all your successes.
Okay.
You need
give
a total
Yeah.
of 5 successes.
Okay. And basically, I have to do it in 5 tries, or she'll be permanently damaged.
You need to do it in 4 tries. The 5th try is
Okay.
when permanent damage will be
Yeah.
inflicted.
Okay.
You're doing this over the course of about half an hour intervals. Because effectively you are acting as a hypnotist, drawing out memories. Gabrielle won't be really aware of what's happening to her.
Okay.
Because she'll be entranced.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna try it for a bit. So first roll. That is 3 successes.
Okay. You kind of stare deeply into her eyes and see her eyes begin to glaze over, and you begin to pry into her mind. Or rather, you begin to kind of, it's almost like tugging on a rope. It's almost like it's almost like you're grinding on a millstone in a way.
Okay. What was the diff again, by the way? I forgot.
6.
Okay.
So you got 3 successes.
5.
There you go. So it doesn't take you particularly long. It takes you an hour. So at this point, Gabriella's absences will probably be noted, but she's still in a meeting with you, so it's fine. But it is like getting a little bit strange. Gabriella spends most of her time just in a trance, just her eyes glaze over, her neck kind of her neck just kind of sways from side to side. It's tilted slightly upwards. She just you kind of have to pull her chin down a little bit to maintain eye contact, in which case she does. And it just kind of sticks to you like glue, like you literally walk around her eye, her head just turns to follow you. And it's just this sort of monotone voice as she answers your questions. For the most part, is your answering is just, I do not recall, I do not recall, I do not recall, I do not recall. And then eventually, finally, you begin to break, you begin to restore her memories.
Yay.
And she'll just say, a young man approached me on my way to work 2 nights ago.
Can you
We exchanged words, and I followed him to a local tavern outside the Nobles' Quarter. She stopped. She's still entranced. So
Okay, sorry, I never know with you. describe what this man looked like?
He was a young Arabian man. In chainmail with a tabard. I do not know what the coat of arms represented. I found it strange that this man was exchanging words with one such as myself.
Is there anything about his face that struck you as odd? Anything that stands out?
She'll give you a somewhat in-depth description of his face.
Awesome.
Simply put, it's fairly well rounded. They've got a sort of black stubble. They do not appear to be did not have the typical Islamic beard. They were not wearing any headwear. They had slight scarring on the right side of their face. It was only slight, though. You'd be hard pressed to notice it, judging by her description.
Mm-hmm.
She also states that no, she didn't, because you asked her a different question. So, yeah, that's what she says. They appear to be fairly distinct. You certainly don't recognize this sort of person walking around the Nobles Quarter.
Is it anyone that I recognize from Canine Society?
No.
Of the description. Okay.
No, but it appears from this person's description that they took one of your vessels outside of the Nobles Quarter and fed upon them. They actually state that actually no, because you have to keep asking questions. They're dominated. They will not act on their own. They will only give information relevant to your questions.
Okay.
No mind of their own right now.
Irene will ask to describe the rest of the person, like body, clothing, weapons, any followers he has.
He took me home, where he had a servant open the door for him. He propositioned me. I accepted. And then he bit me and began to tell me to forget what had happened.
Where was this home?
I do not recall. It was within the Nobles' Quarter.
I see. Could you guide me there?
That will require a mesmerize roll or a subjugate roll.
I mean, it's more. That's. I don't want her to guide me
That
there
is a command,
now.
not a question. You're
Okay,
pulling
fair
forward.
enough.
You're altering memories, not
No,
giving commands.
what I was asking is it was basically because I don't want to do it right now, if only because I don't have enough time and I don't want to do that on my own. It was more the question that, okay, if we were to go there, Could you show me the way? There. Then I made it a question.
I do not recognize the street, but the house was modest.
All right. Mm,
I remember being impressed
you sound like a robot now. God damn it.
because she is a robot right now. She's dominated. She has barely any mind of her own.
Fair enough. I think I'm trying to think of more questions. I think. Oh yeah.
She'll give you an in-depth description of the house because that's part of her question, and I can't
Okay.
really.
Do you remember if anyone else was brought there as well? Or have you seen no one?
I recall another woman looking like me being there.
Is it someone that you met in this area?
I did not know the person.
Okay.
I did not talk with the person.
And yeah, those are all the questions that Eirene has. So she'll she'll break the contact, I guess.
Okay, she kind of snaps out of her day, out of her trance.
Gabrielle, are you all right?
Takes her a moment, like she blinks 3 times. Oh, yes, my lady. Is anything the matter?
I think you had another one of those tiredness attacks. I'm quite worried about you.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my lady.
No, please. I really don't think it's your fault at all.
Do you think there's something wrong with me? Should I not be here?
No, no, please. Calm down. It's
Am I
fine.
putting you at risk?
No. But I will talk to the housekeeper. I will tell him not to hurt you. And I will tell him that from now on you'll be my personal servant. If that is okay with you.
My lady, it would be my distinct honor to be your personal personal servant.
I'm gonna make an empathy roll on that one again.
Yeah, she won't make a roll this time. Oh yeah, she's definitely not lying.
Okay.
She would be obviously extremely honored. This is a promotion for her, and
Mhm.
also you offered her son a job, or offered her not her son, her brother a job. So, you know,
Irene will smile and, kind of pat her on the cheek. It will still mean that you will work during the nights, though.
I
My health does not allow me to uh, do much
oh
activities during the day. Uh,
my lady, that is no problem at all. In fact, if I may, I always found it quite curious. You're most active in the evening hours.
yes, it's the air during the day does not suit me. Air at night is fresher. I can.
Oh, is that why you took up medicine, my lady?
One learns some things when one sees a lot of doctors. Yes.
She just kind of nods. Oh,
It's fine though. I'm fine during the nights, and I've learned to love the starlight instead of the sunlight. And I found that I can be quite active during the night, where I cannot be so during the day.
My lady, where should I begin?
Well, we are going to begin with, like I said, first talking to the housekeeper, and then I feel you should take some rest because you look exhausted.
Are you certain, my lady? I'm sure I
I
can.
am quite certain. If there's one thing that I demand of my personal servants is that they are honest about their health issues and that they do not work when they feel ill. I prefer them being well rested and fit for their job. Can you do that to me? Can you be honest when you do not feel well? It will not change any of your pay.
Of course, my lady. I would not. I would not lie to you in any capacity whatsoever. I would not dare to deceive you.
I would like my servant to be a friend of mine. I have enough people bowing and scraping.
Okay. Um. I can do that.
You may call me Lady Julia or Julia if you prefer.
Lady Julia.
All right, let us go talk, and I will show you to your room.
I have a room.
You will have my room to rest in. No one will bother you there, and I will not be needing it for tonight as I will be heading out soon.
I I see. Well, I'll I'll leave it in good care. I'll leave it as I entered.
Of course.
Thank you, Lady Julia.
That is all right. Yeah, I mean, we'll literally take Gabrielle by the hand, and they will go and find the housekeeper, and Irene will basically just, tell the housekeeper that this is how it's going to be now.
Yeah, you know the housekeeper. He's a piece of shit.
Shit. Yeah.
You know, he's a terrible human being.
I know. I met him.
Life goes on. As you leave, and you actually see your mother.
Hmm.
She scowls at the housekeeper and looks quite puzzled at the servant, at Gabriella, and just says, my dear sweet daughter, is something the matter?"
I've noticed that some of our servants have been ill. I've well, dear Gabrielle here was one of them, and I questioned her, and I like her. She's very sweet, and I want to keep her as my personal servant from now on, Mother. I'm sure that's no problem.
I see. Well, may may I be so fortunate as to have a short word with my daughter? 'Twill only be but a moment.
Of course. Gabrielle, please. You know what to do, and you know where my room is. I will be with you shortly. I take it Gabrielle heads off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And uh, the lady Aurelian will begin lightly, lightly grab your hand and begin taking you to a room where you can speak privately.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Eirene will follow. Pray tell, mother, what is the matter?
Oh, my sweet Lady Irene, I have failed you in this household.
I'm sure you have not, please.
I have allowed an intrusion to go unnoticed on my watch.
Can you tell me what happened?
It appears you have already discovered that the Gabrielle and several other of her servants have been feasted upon by a rogue of one of your kind.
Yes, I've noticed. It's quite terrible, but
Coming
please
in
don't blame
anemic
yourself.
and unable to put themselves to your service.
Is there any information that you might have for me that I do not have myself?
I am uncertain of the information you possess, my daughter, but I when I questioned several of the supposed victims, they could not remember a thing.
I was afraid of that.
They recalled nothing of their feelings, but I am certain that is what it was. They
Yes.
came in anemic and weak, but without any signs of injury, and no signs of illness other than exhaustion. But that doesn't make any sense.
No, you are quite right. They do not recall because their memories have been altered. They have been ordered to forget about it. Some of my kind can do that.
Can is it possible these memories could be restored so the culprit could be discovered?
It is possible, but it is not without risk. And I think many of them will be more happy with their memories not being recalled. I have I've questioned Gabrielle about it. She's given me a description, and Irene will pass along the description to her ghoul. Is it anyone you may have recalled seeing somewhere? Apparently he has a house in the nobles' quarter here.
It must be someone who moved in recently. I have not heard of someone fitting this description. They sound like a military man.
They do.
If the coat of arms is foreign, then they're likely not of the watch. So they're either quite high ranking or they're masquerading as someone they're not.
This is quite worrisome. I do not recall any of my kind who looks like that. Therefore, it is most likely that As you said, he has either arrived very new and has not made his introductions to my people.
I could not speak on the matter of your people
No, of course
and
not.
my daughter.
Keep an eye out. Warn people about this man. I will take action. And I do thank you for coming to me when you noticed. I'm very grateful for this.
You know I would do anything for you, my lady. She bows very deeply.
Know that I will do anything for this household to protect it.
Thank you, my lady. There is one more matter, however.
Yes,
It is just something I noticed.
please.
A pattern in the victims. They are all young women.
I see.
It is odd, but perhaps this rogue is simply particularly perverse. I do not know. I defer to your wisdom on the matter of your people. My daughter and lady and guardian angel.
Oh, I only wish I was worthy of such a title.
You are worthy of all titles.
I can assure you think too highly of me, but I will look into this matter. As I said, please warn, well, at least all the young women of this man, and that if they see him, they will, well, turn around and walk away from him. Keep them out of earshot. And ask the housekeeper that if any more servants show up ill, they will notify yourself or myself immediately.
Yes, my lady.
Thank you.
Want to make me a quick perception empathy check?
Of course. 9 and 8.
Okay, she clearly wants to be a bit closer to you, but is keeping her distance due to subservience.
I mean, if she wants to be closer, Eirene will simply gesture. Please,
She kind of
don't hold back.
she kind of awkwardly comes closer until she wraps her arms around you and gives you a very uh, soft, affectionate hug.
Eirene will hug back.
It's very a bit rather doting and overly affectionate.
Mm-hmm. Eirene will, just give her like a blood point. After all, she's a ghoul. She needs to be fed regularly.
How do you do that?
Mm, is there like a goblet somewhere near?
Yes.
Then Irene would simply pour, a little bit of her blood in the goblet. Like 1 blood point. I mean, I take it she's used to, feeding by now. Never actually decided on that. So if it's not, then I will do it differently. But
Yeah, it's so cat blood does retain its properties for a minute or two outside the body, so you can pour it into a goblet. It'll just need to be drank fairly quickly, within about a minute of it leaving the body.
That's fine. She'll just hand it over to Lady Orbellion.
She slowly takes it to her lips and savors its taste before drinking on it.
Eirene will lick her wound clean.
At which point, the blood-bond being refreshed, she'll just hug you again. Kind of on a reflex this time.
That's fine. Yeah, I think with that, Eirene will go to her room and we'll just basically tell Gabrielle to go sleep.
Okay. Your mother follows you around. Kind of like a cat.
Damn it. Irene, before she'll enter her room, Irene will look at Lady Orbellion and says, would you mind to go to the housekeeper and pass along my words amongst the servants?
Of course, my lady. I actually no, she won't say that because you're in public now. She'll say, "Of course, I shall attend to my duties and see that my daughter's message is delivered."
Thank you
And
so much.
she gives you a bright, beaming smile in front of Gabriella and kind of tilts your cheek to one side and kisses you on the cheek. And will take her leave.
Yeah, and like I said, Irene will tell Gabrielle to use her room to rest up and to get well again. And Irene is going to head out and she's probably going to go and see her clan.
Ta-da! And that is where we shall end our scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you all next time.